Alright, hi guys and welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, welcome. My name is Heather and on this channel we like to walk a very fine line between a shopping addicted makeup monster and a responsible adult with a makeup hobby. Now I really enjoy eyeshadows, singles, duochromes, multichromes, blush, highlight, lip gloss, basically everything except pressed glitter, and today we're going to be doing kind of a funky twist on a palette tag. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, stick with me, we're getting into it right now. So I was looking back over some of the videos that I did in the fall, and one of them was a palette tag, and I can't remember if this is the one that Samantha March did with Allie Glines or if this is the one that like Batty Bean did. I don't remember who did it, so I'm gonna have to try to put that down in a in the info box. But what I thought I would do today is talk about my face palettes, because face palettes are like, nobody ever talks about those, right? Like I buy a ton of them and then I like never talk about them. So I figured that would be a really fun thing to do. So the first one is, what is your newest face palette? And the newest ones that I have are these two. So I saw that these went up at TJ Maxx. Oh my god, the magnets on these are so intense. This is the deeper toned one. And then this is the lighter toned one. So I saw these went up at TJ Maxx and I went like on a mission to find them and couldn't, but I ended up finding them. Somebody of course bought them and upsold them on Mercari, but it was still about half the price of what they were originally, which I thought was a great deal still. So I went ahead and picked those up. Now the next question is my oldest palette, right? And I had a bunch of different things that I thought about for this, and I had to go chasing down some of my old orders, but I don't have all of my old orders to know for sure. So I'll walk you through what I have. The Smashbox, this is the Cali Contour palette. This I picked up because Samantha March recommended it, and it's really, really gorgeous, kind of those like sunburnt wash of color type tones. And this one, I think I picked up around 2017. Yes, don't do what I do. And then I thought about this Becca and Jaclyn Hill palette, because this was back when I actually liked and respected Jaclyn Hill. This is this palette right here. And this I think came out in 2016, but none of my orders for Sephora or Ulta go back that far anymore, so I'm not 100% sure when I purchased that. The other thing is the Lorac and Pirates of the Caribbean. I bought this on launch day. Oh, this one, of course, I didn't write down. So this, I think, was in 2016 or early 2017 that this launched. The Too Faced Sweet Peach collection I bought at launch day, and this came out in December of 2016. Do you guys remember when we had to like wait until midnight for launch day for this freaking palette because it was going to be limited edition? And they still sell it today. Like, they freaking played us, and I did not get any sleep that night, and I was so pissed off. But anyway, I took a long break from Too Faced after that. I was so pissed. I think the first time I rebought something from Too Faced was like within the last year, honestly. And then this is like my absolute oldest thing. This I picked up when I first started playing around with makeup. This is actually from 2015. I bought it, I think, in 2016 or 2017 after I found out Too Faced had done these like duos that were named after like famous couples, and this is the Ross and Rachel one, so I just had to have it. But those would be the oldest palettes in my collection. Next up is the most expensive palettes in your collection, and I have two answers for this. One is the Hourglass palette. This is the Ambient Lighting Edit Volume 4, and that's what this one looks like. Really beautiful blushes and bronzer in here, no contour. And then this one was originally $80, and I think I paid around $60 for it whenever it went on sale during like Sephora VIP. And then the other one that I wanted to include was this one because it was $89 originally. So it's technically more expensive, but by the time I actually purchased this for $22. So for this being only $22, it was not my most expensive, but technically it's the most expensive list price that I have in my collection. Gosh, I hope that makes sense because I'm over-explaining the heck out of everything. Now, next up is my least expensive palette, which is actually this Woma Beauty Coming to America Highlighter Trio. And the reason why I call this my least expensive one is because it was free. I won this entire collection through a giveaway between Woma Beauty and Beauty Bay. So I got the whole collection and therefore was free. My most colorful, now this was hard. This is where I had to start going into palettes that were like outside of just like blush, bronzer, highlight, and I went into just blush palettes. And this is my NYX, this is the Sweet Cheeks collection, which looks like this. And I don't think any of these blushes are actually named, but you can see them all in here. Obviously we've got some cool tones, we've got some like burgundy and corally type shades, we've got a true orange, two that are kind of shimmery. I mean, you kind of go all over the place with this one, so definitely my most colorful. The smallest one that I have is this Kaja stack right here, and it comes with a cream bronzer, powder highlight, and a powder blush. Super cute, and it actually even comes with a little mirror. But this would be my smallest stack. It actually is slightly smaller than the Tarte Holiday releases. If you remember those ones that twisted out, it's a little bit smaller than that one. My biggest palette is this thing. This thing is like, you could throw this and hurt somebody. This is the Cheek Stars from Benefit, and it's because it's the old style packaging where we still use this stupid brush. Mine is still in the packaging because I never used that in my life. But I bought this literally because I wanted Georgia Peach and I wanted Cookie, and this was originally $60. It went half price to $30, and I was like, that's cheaper than just buying the two powders outright. So I went ahead and picked that up. But it's definitely my biggest palette. Best memory. So best memory I gave to this palette right here, which is the Simpsons and Revolution face palette, which looks like this. Not only did I watch a lot of the Simpsons like Treehouse of Horror episodes as a kid, so that gave me some like nostalgia and feels. When I brought this home, my husband was like, oh my gosh, that's so cool, I want one. He does not wear makeup ever, but still he was like, I want one. So I ended up finding a second one at TJ Maxx and brought it home for him, and he just thought that was like the bee's knees. So for me, I had to include this one because it was like such a cool like bonding moment for us too. Worth the hype. So I pulled out my two Midas and Neon MUA palettes. This is the Dawn palette. This is the one that I picked up at launch, which looks like this. And I love the fact that it's blush, highlight, bronzer, and contour all in one. I thought that was great. And then later on I went back and picked up the Noon palette, which looks like this. And again, same concept, but I do think these are really cool, very travel friendly. And I just think like they got a lot of hype, but I think there was a reason for it. They are a great palette, great formula. The highlighters are bomb. And I think it's worth the hype it was given. What was not worth the hype? So that's hard because I tend to declutter a lot of things that are not worth the hype to me. But what I still had left in my collection that I was not super impressed with were these Kiko duos. And these are the Sweet Affairs. This is the Duo Cocoa Blush and Duo Cocoa, this is also supposed to be blush, but one of these looks more bronzery to me, which is this one. But these shades are so fair, like they barely show up. They used to smell like chocolate. They still kind of do, but it's super faint. You have to practically like snort the palette in order to get it to show up. But like, that's supposed to be a blush or a bronzer? What is that supposed to be? Do you guys even know which finger it's on? This one. You can't even tell because it's terrible. So those probably will not survive my next declutter. All right. Favorite palette from a favorite brand. Oh, I missed one. Ha 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 ha. Let me go back. So this is the Everyday palette that is your favorite, and I picked out this Tarte Hamptons Weekender palette because it is just like a simple blush, bronzer, contour. And although the palette has kind of like tiny, like I don't love the size of it in terms of the pan size, I do love the size of it in terms of like this is a perfect travel size palette. Like this works so nicely. So a lot of times when I would go on like weekend trips with my husband, this is what I would take with me because it was super compact. Now I have a lot of other options obviously, but that's one of my favorite everyday. All right, now we're into a favorite palette from a favorite brand, and I picked out these blush quads from BH Cosmetics. I love BH Cosmetics. I think they're such an awesome brand, and I had picked up, this is the Vanilla Peach Truffle. I picked up the Cocoa Marshmallow and the Vanilla Cream Truffle. And I think all of those have beautiful colors in them. They smell wonderfully, like vanilla. It's like chocolatey, vanilla-y. I don't know. They smell really, really nice. And I think they're just great little blush quads. They're a brand that I really love, so I wanted to show them some love in this video. And then last but not least was my most used palette. And for this one, I had to go with my Blend Bunny Noctilucent highlighter palette, which looks like this. And obviously these are all like iridescent multi-chrome highlighters, but I tend to go in this for like inner corner highlights, sometimes lid toppers, sometimes I tap this above my lid into my crease. I mean, I go into this palette most days, I will say. So definitely wanted to make sure that I included that one. All right. And with that being said, that is everything for this video. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe before you go, and I'll catch you in my next video.